Hello, listeners. This is Lee Price.
This is Will Ford from Football 365.
And you're listening smartly to At the Bridge Pod, a Chelsea FC podcast, although I would describe it as the Chelsea FC podcast.
Tuchel from Eden Hazard. Kai Havertz in the Champions League final. Ivanovic! In the middle, it's just behind him. But it's tapped in by Hakim Ziyech. Matic with the ball driver. Matic takes the net off.
It's time for another episode of At the Bridge Pod, your number one Chelsea FC podcast. Coming up on this episode,
here we go, it's the Ultimate Energy Drink Cup final preview. Oh, welcome back everyone to another episode of At the Bridge Pod. I'm joined in a virtual room filled with some lions on a Thursday, the Thursday show, because, you know, we try and get everyone around the table and someone's not here. Someone is not here, but we've got
the man that we do this on a Thursday
yeah,
for
exactly.
is not here.
But here we are, we're doing it. So yeah, we're going for it. Hey, Berth's here, Ollie's here, I'm here, you're here, listener. That's important.
Arguably most important.
Yes, of course. Just talking into the ether.
Listen, what other kind of podcast strokes the listener's ego? You know, you guys are really the best, and that thing you were thinking about doing, you should do it.
Yeah, exactly. What are you, both of you, looking forward to this weekend?
You know what? I'm actually not doing much this weekend, which is unlike me. And I feel a bit boring for saying it. So I will find something to do. And when Monday comes around, I'll be like, throw out a great answer. But for now, I'm not doing anything. So
that's what I like from you, Berth. There's commitment to getting a good weekend. That is not my goal.
Commitment to get a good show and good content for the fans, because
right.
they deserve it. They deserve it.
They do, you handsome and beautiful devils, you.
Well, I thought he was telling me that I was handsome and beautiful.
You're handsome too, bro.
You are a beautiful specimen of a male.
I'm seeing family again this weekend. A lot of family lately. It's doing me good.
Nice. I don't know what I'm doing now. I didn't write anything down. So that's what happens when the NFL season finishes. I don't know what I'm doing with my life. I don't know. Oh man, I might just watch some random stuff. The listeners, tell me something to watch or something, you know. Yeah, let's go with that. With that, let's hit the news. Oh, it's that time of the week. We're going to check out news you may have missed in the elevator of Chelsea news. Fishel has suffered a torn ACL whilst on international duty. Brighton and Hove Albion's head of recruitment, Sam Jewell, yes, son of Paul Jewell, has accepted an offer to join Chelsea in a senior position. Chelsea are monitoring the situation of Harry Kane at Bayern Munich. Chelsea's lead physiotherapist, Steve Hughes, is set to leave the club at the end of this month after nearly 23 years at the club. And finally, Ronaldinho turned up on an episode of Survivor in Turkey wearing a Boston Celtics Jason Tatum jersey. I don't know. I just had to put it in there.
Ronaldinho's he's like the guy who's completed life before he was like 30. Now he's just going down, doing all the side quests.
It's like it was like a slot machine of level of random. You know, that whole, he was in Survivor, okay, wearing a Boston Celtics jersey. Right, okay.
If anyone had that on their 2024 bingo card, you're a liar.
I just love him. He just makes random appearances. He's not even been in Fortnite. So that'd be too easy, wouldn't Tony Hawk's Pro Skater? I'd love that. I think
we should maybe we could start referring to him as former prisoner Ronaldinho.
Bloody hell. Even then he won a tournament. Recently. He won a tournament whilst I think he was like temporarily being held for passport stuff. Allegedly, I don't know anymore. I'm staying out of this. But he's just fun. He's just fun. That's just it. It's just fun. What from this week's news grabbed your attentions?
Me Fishel's that's
another
absolutely
one.
Devastating.
Yeah.
I feel so bad for her, and I think I speak for all of us when I say, we wish her a swift recovery and hope she gets back on the grass as soon as possible.
Yeah, I mean, damn, if we hadn't bought Myra Ramirez back in January, that's our main striker in Sam Kerr and our backup now gone because of ACLs.
It's so difficult, and it seems to be so prevalent in the women's game at the moment.
Yeah,
some things got to change.
Yeah,
you know?
I mean, the season's been a wild ride already, but wishing her a speedy recovery. And she just started, obviously, to get picked for the national team. So that's going to hit her hard, which, And now we've just got Maya and Kat up top after the break and she's just coming back off her own injury. So it's kind of like, fuck. Yeah, it's going to be tough. It's going to be very, very tough to close out this season. But if anyone can do it, Chelsea women can.
Damn right.
Yes.
I'm going to moan now because that Athletic article's something in my eyes. It got under my skin with the "Can Chelsea afford to win the League Cup?" rubbish.
Oh, I'm so glad you brought this up.
Because I'll say what. So
Beth.
it kind of felt like the media were already crafting a narrative where they could later claim that losing was the better outcome for us. But let's be real, winning a trophy is never a bad thing. Sure. There's talk
Chelsea
about
Football Club.
Yeah.
It is never a bad thing.
Sure. There's talk about, we return to UEFA competitions, and then obviously they have different financial regulations that come with it. But I'm just so bored of hearing about PSR I'm just bored. All this chatter about our financial situation being in disarray is just speculation. There's never any concrete evidence. It's just hearsay and opinions passed off as news. We had it last year. We were going to struggle. We didn't. The reality is nobody truly knows what's going on with our finances but the club, and the media just capitalize on the stories because they know it will grab attention.
Yeah.
And
if you're worried about our finances, listeners, just remember it will be fine until it's not, and then
exactly.
you can't control that anyway. So
if you're buying in, if anyone is buying into the idea that winning a trophy is somehow bad for the club, I don't know what to say to you because it's rubbish. It's a trophy. I would really happily win a bloody League Cup, considering other clubs have had it much worse in trophy droughts. But after what the last 2 seasons we've seen, I would be delighted to win the League Cup. I couldn't give a shit about next season yet.
Arguably the biggest trophy in world football, really.
Is it the biggest? The Stanley Cup. The Stanley Cup's bigger. That's taller. It's definitely taller.
It's true. It's definitely
got
taller.
some weight behind it. Go on, Berth.
No, I mean, it's so annoying. I keep seeing this article over and over and over again from different sources, and it's just really boring. It's just like they don't get enough eyeballs on it, so they have to repeat and rehash it, and it's just who gives a shit?
The thing is everyone knows negative news about Chelsea sells and clicks so
negative news in gen. I've never. I mean, the problem is,
for a fact, there is absolutely no. There's no club seemingly in the Premier League that they could talk about that where around this sort of thing around finances like they do about Chelsea, because they just love to stir the pot so much.
Yeah, I'm bored. It's the same every time. Because
what it is it all plays into the same narrative that they've all decided from day one, which is American owner equal bad, and so and fortunately, our owners have done a great job at making sure that narrative has stuck. And now it's just going to stick for ages. And hopefully we win this final and then go on and win the European competition it puts us in anyway.
Yeah, I've already seen the tail off of this go. Oh, well, they could just do an AC Milan and forego their place. We haven't won the trophy yet. And we're thinking, no, what? Just shut up. Let us enjoy the game. If we win, fuck yeah. If we don't, so be it. But I don't want to see on Monday morning if we lose. Well, in hindsight, it's a very, very good decision because we don't have to worry about the finances being in the UEFA guidelines. I don't care.
Just see it. It's going to annoy me.
I don't care. If on Monday I'm here moaning about that article that's been posted on Monday, that will be the worst part about losing to Liverpool. Not losing to Liverpool in general and losing out on a trophy, but hearing that bollocks on Monday.
I think for me, it would be seeing Klopp's smug face smile and punches
It's
in the
the Klopp farewell tour.
Oh my God. Don't. I'm in such a mood when I see it. Oh.
On that, this weekend, of course, sees Chelsea in their first cup final under the Clear Lake ownership. We are taking on Liverpool, who are on the Jurgen Klopp farewell tour. So we're gonna preview that final and what we can expect. So we enter the final with Liverpool. They're soaring quite high in the league. They're top, so you can't get really higher than that. Chelsea's roller coaster of a season sees us in 10th because we love that. But hey, don't count Chelsea out just yet. It's a cup win could turn our season around. But so what I wrote down was I thought, how did we both get here? Well, in the midst of obviously Klopp's announcement regarding his departure, it's kind of, for him, it's a unique place, isn't it, for him to get a final piece of silverware. I couldn't give a shit about that. But for them, their journey began third round. They played Leicester. Obviously, Foxes took an early lead, but they came back. Second half comeback, Gakpo, Szoboszlai and Jota won. They then played Bournemouth in the next round. Chelsea's campaign, we had to kick off earlier because we weren't in Europe. So, So we kicked off against Wimbledon, where we encountered quite an unexpected challenge from them. They were pretty decent, conceded an early penalty. However, we had our own
that
fight
game
back.
was so shit.
I remember coming back.
I'm going to say that about every round on.
Well, it's pretty fair. I mean, that was the game I'd come back from Ireland, the first, and I was like, "Oh, I get to watch us play." And I was like, because the day before we'd signed Cole Palmer. I was just like, well, that was when I got on that plane and got off, and we'd already signed Cole Palmer. I was like, "What the fuck happened in that flight? What? That's just mad." But right, where did we go? We beat them. We then played Brighton, beat them, played Blackburn, beat them.
That was a good game, actually. We played well in that game.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
If I remember rightly.
For sure. 100%. Could not agree any more with that. And obviously then we took on Newcastle. We were losing till the dying minutes, and then Mudryk scored a dramatic equaliser in the 92nd minute. Went to penalties. Petrovic was the hero. We went into the next round, semi-finals. We took on Borough. Less about the first leg, the better. The second, 6-1. I mean, what do you think the journey for both teams has taught us ahead of this final? Probably fuck all, but
Don't
count out the lesser team.
Yeah.
So it says to me is that anyone can win it and anyone can beat anyone in a cup competition over 90 minutes, and potentially extra time and penalties. You've got a good chance. Although I think we've got a bit of a better chance now. Liverpool are the only team in the world to have injuries. So
bloody terrible they've had that crisis.
I hear they're having a minute silence before the game for all of Liverpool's injuries.
And they should. So they should.
Oh my word!
So they should.
I mean, what do you think, Berth? What's it taught you?
I do agree with Ali that sort of anything can happen. Like the underdogs, you should never rule them out. I do. Yeah, I mean,
that's the thing is, I think that will help us though. I think when we're underdogs, we do better generally.
I mean, you look at us against Man City the other day. I'm sure us included, we wrote us off before we even kicked a ball.
Yep.
And we played really well. I think we are better and we perform better when the sort of we are the underdogs, and I don't think Sunday will be any different.
And we play better against the better teams, usually.
We do, and I think against Liverpool, the game against
I would have more faith in us beating Liverpool than beating like Brentford in the cup final.
Yeah, because Liverpool will come out and play.
Yeah.
Liverpool, I said the other week that I think we'll find it easier to break down Liverpool than Middlesbrough. This is before we beat Middlesbrough 6-1, but I think we can get Liverpool because they will go for
Which means we're winning the final 7-1.
Yeah, we're winning it. We're winning it 5-0. So
we're kind of always better as the underdog. The current. We're not endorsing any sponsors here. I'm just saying that the odds at the moment put us not favourite. Liverpool are favourite, which benefits us. We're like a shitter Atletico Madrid. We're happy to be in the final as the underdog. Whether we'll play, we should play a low block. We should do that. That should be our thing. Turn the kryptonite into our best weapon.
It's still bizarre to me why we seem to
we're there
possession. No, why we play possession-based football when we are clearly a counter-attacking team.
Yeah.
Just give the ball up.
We are so good at the counter.
I just don't like. I don't know. For me, it's not even like counter-attacking football is like some kind of like weak or bad way to play. Like we absolutely stormed the league playing counter-attack under Conte. Like it's something big clubs can and do, and I just don't see why we don't.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at it in recent seasons, the two sides have been quite evenly matched. 7 of their last 8 meetings again across all the competitions have ended in draws, including the cup finals that were decided by penalties. So officially, we didn't lose those games in regular time.
That says a lot about how shit we've been and how good they've been, but we've still managed to get through most of the games. I mean, like losing in penalties in the moment it matters is absolutely devastating, and I really hope that doesn't happen. But it shows that we, even in our worst moments, we're not as bad as we think.
No, I mean the form right now, last 5 games, Chelsea have won 3, lost 2. that began with 2 defeats, but we've recovered 3 in a row now. Obviously, we lost 4-1, didn't we, to Liverpool, and then it got worse, didn't we? 4-2 to Wolves. That was the worst point. The 4-1 defeat didn't hurt like the Wolves did, because that one was just, we were mauled by the Wolves. We were tragic against them. But then obviously we beat Villa in the Cup replay. We beat Palace. We got that point against City.
As a confidence builder, those 3 games are good to build on. You've got we absolutely pasted Villa. Palace were a surmountable but difficult obstacle. Thank you, Conor Gallagher. And we got a point against, and probably should have beaten the best team in the world last week. So as a confidence builder, it's not bad.
Yeah.
I have a question for you two though, and I know we're getting slightly ahead of ourselves. We're talking about potentially winning the final, but do you think if we win the Carabao Cup final, do you think Pochettino deserves to stay?
Yeah.
It'd be very
on balance.
harsh.
It's kind of hard not to see. Like, Chelsea's a club about silverware and about winning and about trophies. Like, if you win a trophy, you kind of got to stay, right? Regardless of how bad the league is.
have, and that will annoy some people. But at the end of the day, if you win a trophy in your first season with a new and young team, that's successful. Look at Arteta as well. He won the FA Cup in his first season, finished 8th or 9th with Arsenal. Now look at him. So he can build momentum in a trophy.
I kind of think back to Conte. He won the FA Cup and got fired. It happens.
It does.
Yeah, I clearly have no idea about. I wrote down form guide and I just registered what I said when you said. I clearly remember Manchester City being beaten by us because I said we'd won 3 in a row. We haven't. We've won 2 and then drew. Liverpool.
It felt like a win, though, didn't it?
It felt like a win. That is the moral high ground.
It did.
We won. Liverpool have won 4, lost 1, beating ourselves, Burnley and Luton and Brentford, and then obviously they lost to Arsenal.
Form, I don't think that, in terms of the form, I would say that's pretty even because they've not played the strongest teams, really.
Form means bugger all in a cup final.
Yeah, that's true.
It does. Momentum helps, but one thing that's going to decide this tie are the players, usually. But obviously, which players?
Help. They do help.
It slightly, sometimes the beach ball gets involved, but
if you try without them, you will lose.
Yeah, that's a guarantee. Well, I don't know. Sometimes our performances. Which players, though, from both teams are you sort of expecting to make the biggest impact in this final?
I think Conor Gallagher's a big player for Sunday.
Yeah.
I think if he's on it from the first minute, I think we win that game. I think he's so important.
He sets the tone is the thing.
That's so perfect way. Yeah.
If he comes out of the traps flying and is, screaming at everyone to get forward, press properly, organising the line, I feel like we've got a really good chance because we can reasonably win the midfield battle against Liverpool. Enzo Caicedo and Gallagher is better than what Gravenberch, McAllister and Endo or who else will play in there? Elliott maybe.
Yeah.
I feel like we've got the better of them in the midfield, but their attack is much better than ours. And so I feel for me that one of their biggest players is going to be Darwin Núñez. I feel like he's going to be a real handful.
Is he fit? Is he fit?
He's a doubt.
I think he'll play.
He's a doubt at the moment. For me, I feel that it's our midfield trio of Gallagher, Caicedo and Enzo. If they're on their game, then against the Liverpool 11, I believe we can win the war right there. Win that midfield battle, because if you win that midfield, you win the game in this instance for me. And that also goes for Liverpool, because if their midfield of Endo, Gravenberch and McAllister can hold their own and dominate, then they decide the tie. And I didn't want to get too confident, think, they've had injuries, whatever. I actually watched the Luton Liverpool game, extended highlights last night, and damn, I'm seeing Endo play next to McAllister. That kind of tells me that how he played tells me that Alexis was the reason for maybe our own Caicedo's form last year, because Endo has his own warrior mentality that he brings. He's a proper midfield. He's like that Fabinho mould. However, McAllister just seems to lift everyone's performances up another level. And that's what I think we have to be wary of, because Liverpool got a top deal, in my opinion, bringing them both in when they missed out on Caicedo. I mean, value for money. Sorry, Endo and Lexus are miles ahead of Enzo and Caicedo on value for money.
Well, Liverpool can enjoy the value for money cup then. That will be an interesting battle because I wonder if because I know McAllister's going to play a bit deeper, but that sort of midfield battle, him versus Gallagher, or even if Caicedo pushes on and they both know each other so well, it's going to be a really, really interesting game. And like you say, Mikey, the midfield is going to be absolutely crucial.
Yeah, I feel Sterling's got a key role in this because he's got to focus on dominating Conor Bradley. Bradley's flourished, replacing Trent.
Take him to school, Raheem.
Trent was Raheem was absolutely outstanding against Kyle Walker last week, and if he can do that to a younger player, if he can showcase everything good about his own game like he did against City, we can create the chances. That's the thing.
I think it's for Sterling as well. I think it's for Sterling. He does get big goals.
Yeah, that's the thing.
He's always got big goals. And he's used to being in a cup final. Not many of our players will be used to playing in a cup final. He has played in many. So he is vital as well. And I think he will start. Presumably he'll start. I think he's have to show his experience on the pitch.
It's going to be interesting because you never know what Chelsea are going to get in a game these days. And I think we're going to be able to tell if we're going to win or lose the final from maybe the first 5-10 minutes of the game. If we come out of the gates and we look lethargic and slow and we're not set up properly, we're going to get absolutely embarrassed.
You say that when we started against City, we didn't start well.
Yeah, but you can tell in the first 5-10 minutes what Chelsea you're getting in a game this season. You just can. I've been able to pretty accurately tell in the first 5-10 minutes of a game. A good example would be probably the Wolves game. I watched the first 5 minutes of that and went, no, we're not winning this. And we didn't. We were embarrassed at the end. And I watched the first 5 minutes of Villa and went, oh, we're doing all right. We might play today. And we did. We did really well. So it just feels like Chelsea really need to harness all of that hype, harness the three little birds from Bob Marley, harness everything that's gotten us this far and just channel it into one game, because this could be really, really important, and more so arguably than I think a lot of people are saying, because we were talking about earlier about the Chelsea is a club about winning trophies. This is a really good opportunity to engender that kind of winning culture and attitude and mentality amongst a very young squad. And that could be the difference in the future between sort of mealy mouth, mid-table finishes, or actually moving on in this so-called project and getting where we want to be.
Yeah. I mean, we know the injuries. There's a lot for both sides. We've got Fofana, Silva, James.
Oh, do Liverpool have any injuries? They didn't mention it.
A couple. They got a couple. They got Jota, Arnold.
No, they didn't mention it. They're really
Alisson.
usually magnanimous about that.
I mean, what would your starting 11 be for this game? I mean, personally, I'd go unchanged from our game against City.
Yeah, I think I'd agree with that.
I think unless a change would be forced somehow, I would go for the same again, because it just seems that team performs so well against a team that's so similar.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. I mean, that loss to Liverpool in the league. Look, it wasn't about luck or a circuit. It was about our defense not applying enough pressure. There's enough articles out there. If you watch tactical breakdowns of our game, we let Liverpool dictate the flow of the game. And let me tell you about that Man City match that we watched. Chelsea kind of rolled out, which I was brought to by someone on, I think it was either on Twitter or the Discord, put it in, about how they rolled out this sort of 3-2 at the backs formation where we had the centre-backs wide either side of Petrovic, and that sort of freed up the full-backs to go on the offensive. And because of how we set up, Enzo and Caicedo sort of orchestrated our build-up play, and it was beautiful. It worked, and there was chances left and right. And this worked because I feel that as well, Haaland, you look at him, top-class, world-class striker, but he ain't much for pressing. He can't cover the whole field on his own. And Liverpool's front three, they're not exactly the Conor Gallagher pressing levels either.
Nunes is.
We've got to be... He's chaos.
But he does have that energy. Really does. He's a very, very good player. And if they're pressing with him from the front, like you say, he's a doubt. But if they're pressing with him from the front, could be a tough game for us.
I mean, with City, if we play the game we played against City, the question comes down to will we finish those chances we create? If we do that, we win this final.
Yeah.
I mean, what's your prediction for the outcome of this final? I'm going for a 2-0. I haven't said the team. I haven't said the team.
We're going to look so silly, regardless of.
I've gone 2-0, so someone's.
I'm going to go 2-1.
Don't say
I'm
teams.
going to go
Don't say teams.
3-0.
Nice. I suppose that means that I've got to. I also would help if I actually went, oh, look, Lion of the Week. So we've got a cup final against Liverpool. It's on Sunday. Who are you choosing?
I'm going to go Gallagher. I mentioned him earlier. I think Gallagher will be, if we're to win, it'll be because of him, I think, and how he plays.
I'm going to go with, I had a great game against City, so I think he'll step up for this one. Axel Disasi. I think he's got to have a really important game if we want any chance of winning.
Oh my word! I'm actually really happy with my pick. The wheel has given me Axel Disasi as well.
Okay, in which case, no, you get the power of the wheel. So I'm gonna change mine. I'm gonna give mine to Jackson.
Oh, what a shout! Good shout.
I feel like the wheel.
Two very similar players as well.
To trump you. If you get the same on the wheel, you just got to change.
Well, right. There's the cup final previewed. Hopefully, I'm sure listeners will have their own opinions on how it will go. Who knows? Let's just have fun. Let's just enjoy it. Enjoy the day. That's not the attitude we're taking. We're actually going there to win.
That's as Chelsea fans, enjoy the day. The team. If you're listening to this show, I hope
win.
I hope you're not, but win. Please.
On that, as we head to Charisma's questions, I'm going to throw this in because you haven't touched on it, but the Pochettino thing. Thomas Tuchel's going from Bayern. Everyone on Twitter, not everyone on Twitter. I might have asked, would you have liked to have gone for some food with Tom?
Absolutely not. That would have been the most stressful meal you'd ever eat.
A nice steak, a nice fish and chip supper. I don't know, a vegan dish. I don't know. But now he's gone from Bayern. Would you have him back?
No. I just
don't see. I
absolutely love Thomas Tuchel. I love what he's done for the club. I would personally, I would run through the brick wall for the guy, but I do not want him back.
The thing is he's very much like Antonio Conte. Fantastic for us, did really well, but he's that personality that just falls out with players and falls out with chairmen and owners, and it's just always.
He always has. Look, we knew what we were getting into when he signed for us.
Yeah, because it was with PSG.
You know what? He always falls out with the ownership. Now you could go, yeah, but not with us. He fell out with Dortmund. He fell out with PSG. He fell out with Chelsea, and he seems to have fallen out with Bayern. It also doesn't help when your team are playing shit and you're Bayern Munich and you've won the title for the last 116 years, and somehow you're not winning it this year. But who knows? I mean, for me, I wouldn't take Tuchel back because you live in the past, you die in the present. I'm standing by that. And he'll probably go to Man United. He'll probably do all right for the first season and then fall out with Ratcliffe and whoever's, if the Glazers are still there. Mark my words. But we do have an actual question from one of you listeners, not from us. It's Josh, and he's asked, what is the best Champions League final and League Cup final you guys have ever watched? And I did drop it to the lads because I feel like we shouldn't say with Chelsea. With Chelsea in, because I feel that's too easy. Because it would be the 2012 final for Champions League because it's so bloody good.
For the League Cup, I couldn't not pick the 3-2 against Liverpool personally.
Yeah, I'll allow it. Well, this weekend, what a game!
With any luck, right? But no,
imagine if that comes off.
That'd be great. But wasn't it like Jose's first trophy for us? Just a lot of parallels in a sense in terms of it could be the first trophy for that squad, and it could be the first trophy for this squad that we've got now as well. Just a really enjoyable game that was.
Yeah. What about your Champions League?
I'm gonna go. I can't remember what year it was, but it was the one where it was Atletico Real Madrid, and Atletico were leading for the whole game.
Ramos
scored. Yeah, La Decima, and then Ramos scored, and then they won it 4-1 in extra time. They just completely blew them away. I've got fond memories of that because I remember watching it with my dad and stuff. And it was just a really, really good game of football.
That is a
shout.
beautiful answer because that is mine. 4-1 against
fair enough.
Atletico. And no one asked for this, but I'd say that the worst final I've ever watched was the first one I ever watched in 2003. It was Juve
AC
0.
Milan Juventus.
It was so shit.
Yeah.
Surely
pens.
nothing can be worse than Liverpool Spurs.
Yeah, that game was.
It was
there was
over
goal.
after a minute. The game ended immediately.
I can't disagree. No, I can't disagree. Right, League Cup final. That's what I've gone. Chris, actually, another who's not here today.
You missed that my Champions League final, by the way. I just thought I'd throw that one
sorry.
out there.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. Which one's yours?
It's okay. I actually think 2011 when Barcelona beat Man U 3-1.
Great final.
Just because I think that
Prime Guardiola
Barcelona team is the best team I've ever watched on a football pitch.
Yeah, I think
and they're
that's
just
very
unbelievable.
fair.
Yeah.
League Cup is the same. Chris said in our group chat, and it's the same for me. Birmingham 2, Arsenal 1 in 2011. That was just bloody wild. I loved it. It was just, there was no way in any chance that Blues were going to win that, and they did. And it's just because of the incredible Seattle Sounders legend Obafemi Martins when he scored that winner, because Koscielny and Chesney just had no idea what was going on. Oh, bloody brilliant. It was, and they got relegated 3 months later.
Good
so
for them.
But hey,
Yeah.
first trophy since '63. It's all right. Well, what about you, Berth? What's your favourite League Cup final?
I'm sure. I think it was Cardiff 2, Liverpool 2, and it went to penalties. And I think Liverpool won on penalties. I can't remember when that's from. I want to say it was about 2012.
I'm going to have to look up this. I don't know. That does ring a bell, though.
I'm sure.
Didn't Paul Gerrard play in that game?
Yes, I'm sure. Or was it Anthony Gerrard?
2012 League Cup final.
Yeah.
2-2, yeah, you're right.
I remember watching it, and Cardiff didn't have a chance. No one gave Cardiff a chance, and they gave Liverpool a great game. And yeah, it was just really entertaining.
Big up
Cardiff
How final should be.
Cardiff had the luck of the draw that year. They had Oxford, Huddersfield, Leicester, Burnley, Blackburn, Crystal Palace, and Liverpool had Exeter, Brighton, Stoke, Chelsea, City.
Jesus.
Wow.
Oh my word.
Big up Cardiff though.
Oh, well,
Represent. That's where I live.
Yeah.
They got to the FA Cup final, didn't they? Around that time.
Yeah.
Against
They're
Wales,
terrible
weren't
now
it?
though.
Is it all right?
Yeah, do you remember when they went for that weird season where they played in a red kit? And
Yeah,
it was like,
Yeah,
you
that
can't
was
do that.
strange.
The owners
can't do
changed
that.
it and everyone hated it.
Yeah, I wonder why when you're a blue team and you change your kit to a red. Why would that cause upset? I don't know.
I mean, like in terms of like an actual factual concept, it makes sense, but it's just like ignoring everything else about the club, and it's just like, why would you? Like, there's no point.
Yes, because they were the Bluebirds, weren't they? And they were like, no, we're going to be Red Dragons, and it was like, oh, that's going to go down so badly.
And it did.
No,
Like
Oh,
Stevie
my
Wonder could have
word.
seen that going badly.
dreadful. It was absolutely dreadful. So we move to the final section, which is the Lone Army Carousel. Oh, that music. Oh, yes. So the game of categories, and the category this week is Serie A. Now, there are 38 players from Great Britain and Ireland that have played in Serie A since 1990. Can you name them all?
Since 1990.
19. Well, Berth just took the lead. Go for it, Berth. You've taken the lead. I'm happy to go ahead with that.
Sorry, what? I'm not sure what.
You've got to go first, basically.
Okay. So any player from Great Britain to play
Or Ireland.
Syria or Ireland playing Syria.
Yes.
Ruben Loftus-Cheek.
Yes.
Fikayo Tomori.
Yes.
Gary Lineker.
Bloody hell, we're Ollie, you can win this quite quickly.
Oh no,
It was quite an easy one. David Beckham.
David Beckham's on there.
Oh, brilliant.
You know what? Because we really buggered that up quite quick, I will say you can carry on, but Berth, you've lost.
There's
well,
go on, Berth. Go for another one.
Win the high ground.
I don't even. Oh, Ashley Young. Ashley Young's one of them. There we go.
Yeah.
I know another one as well. I know
Tammy
another one
Abraham.
as well. Yeah, that was the one I knew. Paul Gascoigne, has he played there?
He did. He played for Lazio.
Ooh, now I'm struggling. Smalling, he played for Roma.
Yeah.
Someone
oh.
here you should know.
Michael Richards.
He did play for Fiorentina.
Yeah.
You have missed out some famous names.
Ashley Cole played for Roma.
He did.
Oh, yeah, of course. I don't know. Don't know any of us.
Okay, so
Did Joe Hart play in Italy on loan?
He did. Torino.
Wow.
Yeah, he did, didn't he?
Yes.
Right.
Right.
I don't know if it's terrible at this.
You could have had Aaron Hickey. I'm pretty sure he's at I don't want to
Brentford?
Google it yet. No, he's the one that he probably is now. He played for, I want to say, Cagliari. I don't know if it was that or Bologna. Hang on.
Nope,
Oh, it was
no
Bologna.
idea.
Yeah. He's now at Brentford, yeah. But anyway, we've got Aaron Ramsey at Juve.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, of course, yeah.
Can anyone tell me where Ainsley Maitland-Niles is right now?
Wow.
Genoa?
Yeah, I was going to say Genoa.
I don't know.
No, he's currently on loan at Lyon, but he played on loan for Roma. I don't remember that at all.
Nope.
Wow.
No.
Yeah. Axel Twanzebe from United, Ben Wilmot, Danny Dichio. What a name, Danny Dichio.
Is Twanzebe English though? I thought he was Dutch.
Hang on, I'm gonna check the wiki.
VAR.
Not that it matters because I've lost massively anyway, but
He represented the England under-21s, so yes, he was English, even though he was born in DR Congo, but he represented the England under-21s, so that's his national team at that time. But
okay.
And until he gets called up again for another national team.
Exactly. David Platt, Des Walker. These are the names that Chris is screaming at us right now. Jed Spence, Ethan Ampadu.
Oh,
yeah, should have got that one. Yeah.
Festi Aboselli. I don't remember him.
Obaselli.
I don't remember him.
I don't know. That just sounds like the way to say it instead of the way you say it.
Franz Carr, Harry Winks, Jack Hendry, James Abanqua, Jay Bothroyd. I remember him. He was bloody
I don't
good.
know why we make you read all the
I
names.
know, it's so unfair. Josh Doig, Keenan Davis. Don't remember him playing in the Serie A.
Wow.
Lee Sharp, Lewis Ferguson, Liam Henderson, Lewis Binks. This is the ones that I'm shocked that you didn't get. Nathaniel Chalobah.
He played in Italy.
Yeah, he was on loan there. Or did he move? He played at Napoli. Oh my
he
word,
did,
I
yeah.
remember that.
He did.
That one's completely left my mind. I can't remember him playing there at all.
Paul Ince, Robbie Keane, Rolando Vieira, Samuel Illing
Robbie
Jr.,
Keane.
and Stephen or Steffi Mavididi.
Mavididi.
Yeah, was he Arsenal? Or...
Yeah, he started at Arsenal, I think. I'm sure he started at Arsenal.
But yeah. Oh yeah, he was
Wow.
Arsenal youth player. Bloody hell. He's
Wow.
currently at Leicester. There we go. He played one game at Juventus, but he did play 32 games for the under-23 team. So there you go. What an interesting move, because he left Arsenal to join there. That's just interesting.
Didn't win the championship though.
Oh yeah, but
I can see why a lot of British players would go to Italy, though. You know, good food, good weather, good football.
I remember reading the Michael Richards autobiography, and he was really, really talking up Florence like it was just the place to.
Where did Michael Richards play? Did he play for Lazio?
Fiorentina.
Fiorentina.
Florentina, yeah, because he spoke about them incredibly. And hey, I wouldn't mind living in Tuscany.
Maybe the football's not that good then.
No.
Wow. I don't know who he played with then, because he'd have played with some like top players there.
He played with Salah. I'm sure he played with Salah.
Yeah,
he
said.
I'm going to check this before we go, listeners, because I actually want to see what season he played in.
Is there any? Could he have had any overlap with Vlahovic when he was at Fiorentina? Maybe.
He
Don't know.
might have. 14-15.
It's going to be close, but I don't think so.
No, probably not.
No.
Don't forget that was 10 years ago.
Oh Jesus, don't like.
Time flies, doesn't it? He played with Marcus Alonso. Oh wow! Bloody hell!
He runs down the wing for me.
David Pizarro, Alberto Aquilani, Joaquin, Boya Ferrero.
All right, I'll tell you that
Josip
back. The
Ilic.
football's pretty good.
Gilardino, Giuseppe Rossi, Mario Gomez, Mohamed Salah,
Wow.
Marco Marin.
The GOAT.
Marco Marin. Oh my word, yes, I love that so much.
Everyone was convinced he was going to be the biggest thing in the next big thing in 2010.
So did I, because he was great on FIFA. So that meant he was going to be a world beater in real life.
Him and
Didn't
Mario
happen.
Pasalic.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Oh wow, some nostalgia there. Right, listeners, we're at the end of another episode. Thank you for listening. We'll be back Monday to review a win. That's what we're going to be reviewing. Celebrating.
Didn't say who for.
We didn't say that. But we will be back on Monday. Until then, that'll be us signing off. You've been listening to At the Bridge Pod, a Chelsea FC podcast. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram by searching for At the Bridge Pod. And if you're listening on Apple or Spotify, leaving us a review is always appreciated.